at the mercy of your deadliest enemy.
Dr. Doom! Gosh, I wish I'd brought my autograph book.
Your attempts at humor bore me, Spider.
Oh, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. O-Town Hellbilly back again with another one with my King Cobra Premium Malt Liquor. Straight off the dangerous streets of Stockton, California, in order for me to bring you this high-quality, authentic malt liquor entertainment production tonight. Final haul in malt liquor. He's leaving for hip-hop edition. Let's get into this. Lousy cap toss. Malt liquor label out. Follow the blueprint.
For 3 weeks with derelict gone niggas who feasting. Pop a medallion right up off of that weak link in front of your guard while you in the bar copping cheap drinks. Now you about to fall victim to kind art, feeling this crime and indigenous mind like the nice spark. Not only I rhyme hard, I stay fond of the dime piece that's fine. I grind on the hind parts. I'm perverted, words worded with verbs murdered. Your bird heard it. That's you on my dick trying to bird slurp it. Pardon my friends, clever is as hard as it gets. You get it departed when the target is hit. Your whole family gets slaughtered in links. I hit you 5 times with the 4 pound like it's a quarter to 6. Box heavy, get your teeth fixed. I stay flipping the jab. I counter with the Floyd Mayweather defense. Grand thieving, drunken man Sam Seeing with my hands bleeding. You fucking with a damn heathen. Not only your shit and get pushed back for acting hard.
Oh, outstanding, ladies and gentlemen. Brewed and packaged by hardworking, patriotic Americans, and you need to support that. Manufactured by unionized professionals, just like this vinyl we're about to get into. A few shout outs first. 209JJones, the Malt Liquor referee. Rock Bottom 559, Lone Wolf 420, Mr. Lootbag Larry, of course. Cause of 25, the Northern California contingent Malt Liquor. All right. So this past week or so, I didn't came up last week, but I was feeling a little bit under the weather, so to speak. So this past week or so was a pretty decent haul. I found something at, I went to Phono Select Records in Sacramento, and one of them came off at Discogs, and we're going to get into all that. This might be a bit of a long one, so settle in, get yourself some malt liquor, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, first up, and there's a story behind a couple of these albums here that we got. Live TV, folks. Shit. First up is the Hates. All right, now the Hates are a punk rock band from Houston. They've been around since I think '78 or so. I don't know if they're still around, but I did get a chance to see the Hates twice. And the first time I saw them, I'll tell you, I picked this up at Phono Select Records in Sacramento, and I was shocked to see it on the shelves at all. I wouldn't imagine that this band would have, one of their records would have made its way out to California. I mean, they have done some touring, but it seems like they're more of like a local Houston, Texas band from back in the day. But a few years ago, I was in the Army, and prior to the Iraq War, so you're talking, it was Thanksgiving night 2002, and it was the Thanksgiving Massacre show. The headlining band was the Casualties, and they played with the Forgotten and the Hates. And that was a great show. It was one of the greatest punk rock shows I've ever been to. It was extremely rowdy and all around a good time. And it was also the last show that I saw before I deployed to Iraq. So, you know, and I felt that the Hates performance, and it was even, I think they were the second band up. There was a band before them, I can't remember who it was. But the Hates were the second band up on the bill. And then right before the Forgotten came out. The Forgotten were also awesome. I wish they were still around. They were a great band. But they came up there, they get right into this set quickly, and they're just going to town. And it was old 77 style punk rock. And that's exactly what this record is. It's a wonderful record. I highly recommend it. If you're into punk, like old school punk, that's get the Hates Panacea. That record is a great record. It doesn't have Moral Majority on it, which is unfortunate. I think that's on their one of their compilation albums. It's off of a 7-inch maybe. But the singer was cool. After they were done playing, you know, he was hanging out just talking with people in there. And they was rowdy. You know, they had a lot of they were a local band from Houston. So a lot of their fans were in there just going to town, and you know, the pit, it was a good pit that night. And it's, you know, they started off the show really quite well. The first band was, you know, whatever, people were just kind of standing around, not really taking it in. But when the Hates came on, you know, people kind of came in and they were, you know, slam dancing and going psycho in there, myself included. Malt Liquor label out. That night at the show, I bought one of their CDs and a t-shirt, and I took that CD to Iraq with me, and I listened to it a lot, you know. And I just remember they were one of the last bands I saw before I went over there, and I said, well, if I get killed over here, you know, at least I got to see some cool music before I deployed. All right, so let's set the tone a little bit here. Ads. Of course, we got to hear ads. We're going to mute that for you. It takes a hot minute. Live TV, folks, it does happen. Remember that Oaktown Hillbilly exclusive? We're talking vinyl. We're talking punk rock. We're talking hip hop. Yes. Got Wu-Tang shit tonight. Next up, we've got the Misfits, 1977 to 1984. The singles collection is a bootleg record, you know, and it has an awful lot of cool ones on here. You know, all the staples: We Are 138, Bullet, She, Hollywood, Babylon, Horror Business. You know, Where Eagles Dare, of course. Ratfink is on Halloween 1 and 2. Ghouls Night Out, Die My Darling. It's got a few from Static Age, Who Killed Marilyn, and it has two different versions of that, the EP edition and then the album edition. It doesn't have Death Comes Ripping on it, which is kind of unfortunate, but this is a good recording. I don't know if they got paid for it, hopefully they did. We'll see what happens, but either way, I'm glad I have this in my collection. The Misfits 1977 and 1984, the singles collection. And I got a good copy right there. No bouncing, no warping, no skipping, no none of that. It plays great. Malt Liquor label out. Everybody's talking about the good old days. First time I heard the Misfits was probably 1996, and I was enamored with it. It was, I think it was Hollywood Babylon was the first one. They had that compilation, Greatest Hits or whatever they call it. That CD came out in '86. I saw that, and a friend of mine said, you gotta have the Misfits in your collection. That's when I was kind of getting into punk rock a little bit. So I picked it up and I started listening to it. I said, yeah, this is pretty rad. I like it. You know, it's definitely off the chain. You know, the energy is there. It's hype. You know, it's good to go. And I came from, before I was into punk, I was into hip hop a lot, and I still am. You know, I like all of it. But you know, that Misfits right there. The early stuff, whatever, even the stuff with Michael Graves is good, I think. Now that might be a controversial statement, whatever, it is what it is. I don't care, you know, I like what I like, you like what you like. Enjoy it, do what you gotta do, man. Malt Liquor label out, follow Blueprint. Unfortunately, my local cut rate, they didn't receive a shipment of 40s this week of King Cobra. So all they had was these 32-ounce bottles, and there was like 4 or 5 of them left, so I got one. That's what I got today. Otherwise, I would have a 40-ounce, but we got a 32-ounce tonight. That's the way it goes sometimes. I think there's shortages all over the place. Perhaps it's because of, you know, the coof and what's going on with all that, or, you know, whatever reason, I don't know. I hope to God that they're not taking this off the market. This is a great this is a great malt liquor right here. They need to manufacture more malt liquor. Malt Liquor label out. Like I said, this malt liquor is brewed and packaged by patriotic Americans, and you need to support that, just like these records. These vinyl records right here are pressed by patriotic Americans and Europeans, and that's the way it goes. Shout out to Scumbag Supreme, Roachy 420, Machiavelli 420, and Pro Weed 420 as well. You know, they do have pressing plants in Europe, but these are unionized professionals that are putting this out for us, which brings me to my next point. have to play this one again. Rancid, Life Won't Wait. This is a great album. Now this is a controversial statement. I feel that this and Indestructible are their two best albums. That's controversial. I know that. And I also picked this up at Phono Select Records in Sacramento, California. They had an Instagram post where they were flipping through the bins and showing what, the new releases that they got, or new arrivals rather. And this was in there. I saw that, and I've been trying to get this, and it's not easy to come by sometimes. You can find it on Discogs, but a lot of them were coming from Europe, so I would have had to pay a hell of a lot for shipping, which is whatever. But if I got to do it, I got to do it. I'll talk about that in a moment, but I saw that they had this. This is a 2021 pressing. I think they did a repress the end of last summer. All right, let's bring it into that again. Live to you folks, it does happen. So I had been meaning to get this. I want to get their entire discography into my collection. Even Let the Dominoes Fall, whatever. But this right here, I sent them a direct message on Instagram asking if they still had it and if they could hold it for me, and they said they could do it. And last Saturday I drove up and picked that up. I picked up those 3 albums at Phono Select in Sacramento. Next Friday, I'm going to go down to Oakland and Berkeley again and see what's going on down there. I might go to Modesto on Saturday, down at Rasputin's Malt Liquor.
Hey, everybody's talking about the good old days, right? Everybody,
the good old days. It brings me to my final point. You talk about the good old days. I got this off of Discogs, came straight from Berlin, off the dangerous streets of Berlin, Germany, from Discogs. This is the DJ Atomic Ich Liebe for Hip Hop. I guess it would be an EP, and it's featuring Jizz the Genius of the Wu-Tang Clan and Prodigal Son, as well as the Steiber Twins, which are, I think they're a couple of DJs from Europe. I don't know the exact story behind that. Go back with me 22 years, 21 and a half years ago. And I had the great fortune when I was younger, I used to be in the Army. I had the great fortune when I was younger to be stationed in Germany and to experience Europe as somebody that's in their early 20s, early to mid 20s, and it was a great time. In the year 2000, I specifically remember the German radio station that I would listen to. They played a lot of punk rock, American punk rock, and they played a lot of hip hop on that station. In the evenings, it was more hip hop and rap and stuff like that, R&B, and like in the morning drive and into the afternoons, it was punk rock. And they didn't censor anything, so you had all the cussing and everything on there. Was no problem. They have different laws over there, whatever. So I remember the first time I heard this, I was driving from we just got off work, and I was driving back to my quarters from Baumholder all the way up to Eder Oberstein in Germany. I was living in the NCO quarters at the time. I was an E5, I was a young E5. And Ich Liebe for Hip Hop came on. And it starts off with Jizz the Genius just kind of talking, and then, the raps are in German and they're in English, obviously. And I'm listening to this shit, and I'm listening to the beats and everything and the raps, and I said, this is pretty fresh, this is right on. And it was very catchy, and I caught on to it quickly, I loved it. Maybe a couple of days later, on MTV Europe, I saw the video for the first time, and the video is completely rad. There'll be a link in the description below for that video, and it still holds up today. You're talking graffiti. You're talking about being in Europe back in the late '90s, early 2000s. Good times. Life was better then anyway. Everybody's talking about the good old days. That's why I'm playing this song right now. But that was in very heavy rotation all through the summer of 2000. Malt liquor. This particular version, it's got the, the regular song on it. DJ Tomac featuring Just the Genius and Prodigal Son. It's got another version which was not on the CD. I went down to Frankfurt one weekend. I was drinking and whoring, and I went down to the red light district in Frankfurt. And then the next day, before I got on the last train back to either Oberstein, I decided to walk into the HMV record store in Germany, in Frankfurt, Germany, at that mall. And it was close to the red light district down there. I'm half in the bag. I walk in there, and I said, "Do you have DJ Tomac featuring Just the Genius?" And the girl said, "Yes, of course we do." I said, "I gotta get a copy of that CD," and I did. And that was in very heavy rotation for me that whole summer. Good times. More ads. More you stupid ads. Fuck out of here. Malt liquor. So the CD version was slightly different. The LP version has a different cut on it. Plus the Steiber Twins remix. There's a couple of remixes on there and the instrumental. Outstanding, highly recommended. And that was the whole point of this Malt Liquor masterpiece tonight. Malt Liquor label out. We're about at the swill anyway. Now, in honor of those unionized professionals that manufacture that malt liquor, that ship and package everything right like that, also this vinyl, we're going to play something different. That's what this swill is dedicated to. Approaching the swill. Some people call it the swill. I call it the best part of the whole thing. Oh, liquor. Comment, subscribe, whatever you gotta do, I'm out of here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We gotta do what we gotta do. Stay tuned, punk rock and malt liquor coming right up on my Oaktown Hellbilly channel. Look at that shit, look at that. Oakland Raiders, New York Mets, 69-86 World Series champions, New York Rangers, 94 Stanley Cup champions. Get the fuck out of here, malt liquor!